What do you say to somebody who's been in it for a while, but they're struggling with the concept of philosophy as opposed to just the physicality?
Good question. That's a good question. Let me think on that. They're struggling on the philosophies of the art.
Right, like their focus is only on the physicality.
Right.
But then there is the history, the culture,
Right.
the philosophy.
They're not getting the full benefit of the
Right,
art.
right. So as someone with the experience and the knowledge, you've traveled to Okinawa, you've trained in different styles.
I tell them to go into their roots of their art, study their roots of their art,
Right.
because it reveals a lot. You know, like my sensei, Hokama sensei, you know, everybody says, yeah, Okinawan karate was developed the Chinese influence. And Hokama says, yeah, not only Chinese, Indonesia,
Right.
different Asian countries,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So that's why his understanding is so deep in karate.
Right.
So I would tell them, study your roots, dissect your roots, question tradition,
Right.
which is very important. Everybody tell her, yeah, we did it like this because that's the way we was taught.
Right.
Question why.
Right.
And if you come up with an answer why they do it, try to make it better with new technology. We're in 2021 now.
Right.
A lot of technology,
Yeah.
you know? So that's what I would tell them.
Yeah. My teacher always told me, don't be so naive. Don't believe everything I say.
Right.
Go investigate it. Question it, just like you say, right? Because that's how he said, that's how we progress. That's how we keep it alive.
Yes. My secretary say the same thing. When we're doing technique, he'll tell you why.
Right. Yeah.
And he wants you to explain why we're doing it. And then say, go ahead, keep on.
Right. I spoke to a young man the other day, really intelligent. He's Tai Chi. Have you ever trained in Tai Chi?
Yes.
Okay, which one?
I did Chen style.
Oh, you did Chen?
Yeah.
Okay. He's searching,
I'm not too good.
right? Like, we've competed together and so on, and he's searching, he's been training with a teacher for a while, but his goal is the internal, right? And he ended up finding a teacher online. So, personally, I don't, so, you know, my thing is, the connection with the teacher, like we stood up just now and
Right.
he showed me stuff,
Right.
which is very meaningful.
Right.
It's so important to the growth and how do you encourage someone from a distance online to train and understand what we just did now?
Yeah, it's hard.
Right.
I mean, it's really hard. I mean, the only way I would say is, you know, okay, this is me doing the technique with my partner, and I want you to feel certain parts of what I'm doing, and I explain what I'm doing, and then I'll say, try with other partner,
Right.
you know, try with somebody at home, but
Right.
it's difficult. Online teaching, the experience, then you could grasp a lot.
Right.
You know, a lot of time I watch demonstrations, and I said, oh, I saw something good,
Right.
you know?
Because you have the experience and
Right.
the knowledge.
You have to have
You
experience.
have the eye
Right,
to see beyond
right.
the stuff. And you know, well, I try to tell, now he has two teachers online. Because he's searching for the internal
Right.
that he can't find. The teacher he found was more physical.
Right.
Teach him how to do the moves, competition,
Right.
he goes to competition, he wins first trophy and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was empty for him.
Yeah, it's empty. Hollow form.
Right. So like yourself, how do you teach beyond that emptiness? You know?
Through Zoom, it's very hard,
Right.
I think, you know?
Yeah.
It's hard.
And what happens when a student walks through your door and they have that emptiness? Like, I don't feel
You
like,
could guide them, you know, you could guide them physically, you could tell them what to do physically and touch their body and say,
Yeah.
yo. But if you just give them verbal instruction, it's hard,
right,
you know? That's why hands-on is very important.
right,
I could say, okay, do kakeuke, and when you do the kakeuke, you should take them off balance as you're doing it,
right,
you know?
yeah.
And they'll probably just go, they'll block and they'll probably just go like that.
Right, yeah,
You know, and then go, but it's not about that.
Right.
It's about the technique instead of going this way,
Right.
I go this way. See, I break the
Right.
structure.
The structure.
The
Yeah.
structure.
Right. It's not just
Right.
It's
No, it's not this. This you roll in.
Right.
Boom.
Yeah.
You know, it's more structure. See the way you
Right.
bounce?
Yep.
Now I got you.
Yeah.
You know? So, it's hard. Online training is hard. I did it like when we got into the pandemic. I did it to a few students,
Right.
but I really didn't enjoy it. You know, I like
Right.
the hands-on and like.
Yeah. Yeah. I find the same thing, but you know, I always tell people they have to follow their path.
Right.
Right. And if that is his path now, that's what he has to do.
Right.
We can't.
And sometimes you have to just go through that stage.
Yeah.
And then, you know, they say when you're ready, the teacher will appear.
Mhm.
And it's so true. I went to Okinawa in 1999, and I was with another organization.
So in your, what matters most to you about your art?
Preserving the old ways.
Mhm.
That's very important to me.
Sorry, say that again?
Preserving the old ways.
Preserving the old ways.
Yeah, everybody wants to make modern karate, and it lose, in my opinion, lose the essence of the art.
Right.
You know,
Mhm.
karate was life protection. You know, Goju-Ryu, Nahate,
Mhm.
was designed to protect the ports of Naha.
Right.
Shurite
Right.
was designed to protect the emperor, the castles.
Mhm.
You know,
Right.
so a lot of people they lost the original intent.
Right.
You know, of course, keep the philosophy.
Mhm.
You know, it's good for your body, discipline. Of course, always teach that and preserve that. But keep
But
the old ways.
the old ways is the philosophy.
Yes,
Right.
but a lot of people differentiate. They just keep karate. It has great benefits, and they keep it like that. Then they go do modernized karate.
Right.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
How do you preserve the old way?
by teaching it.
Oh.
I
Okay.
teach it. You know, I teach all concepts like why you chamber your leg like this instead of like this,
Mhm.
and I explain to them,
Right.
you know, different stuff like that.
Right.
You have to teach it, or else
Yeah.
it's gonna go. It's gonna
Right.
disappear. You
Right.
know?
Yeah. My teacher always told me that learn as much as you can, and if you find it's unnecessary, get rid of it. Like, what's unnecessary to you, as far as?
What unnecessary is what won't work. Some people just do it just to do it,
Right.
so that's not really gonna work. So why are we gonna waste our time?
Mhm.
I mean, sometimes it has benefits like, okay, the structure is there, so you're learning structure, but you can learn structures the other way too.
Right. Right.
So I like to be like more realistic.
Right.
You know, a lot of time I get with my guys, I got a big guy there that we call Monster Man.
Right.
I said, Monster Man, you know, throw a punch, you know,
Yeah.
to see if it's, okay, if it's
Right.
gonna work with him,
Right.
it'll work with the average guy, you know?
So
Sometimes
you
get-
challenge yourself
Yeah,
constantly.
you get hit.
Yeah.
I get hit a lot of times.
Right.
Sometimes I tell my guys, oh, and, you know, and I happen to get hit.
Yeah. Yeah. I know some people, they train in martial arts, but they are afraid. They train with fear. They're afraid to get hit. And somebody was telling me that they grew up with this fear of hitting someone,
Right,
you know, and they joined martial arts in order to try to conquer that fear.
right.
Right. Do you think something like that is beneficial to a person who has such fear of physicality?
Yes, I think martial arts will get them out of that fear. Because you're gonna, at some point, you're gonna make contact,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
So,
That's good. I appreciate your time, man. And I
Oh.
know this is, you know, this to me is really important in what I'm trying to do. And I want to speak to people like you, more
Thank
people
you.
like you, who, especially when you talk about the philosophy and when you talk about keeping the history and the culture,
yes.
and keeping the old ways. A lot of people are letting go of the old ways because they think it takes too long. I don't want to stand in or stand. I don't want
Right.
to punch. I just want to learn how to fight.
Right,
And I think a lot of styles, mixed martial arts styles, their focus is just that. You know,
Right.
go out, fight, don't worry about anything else. You know, you don't need to learn the old ways. So I like this conversation and I want to do more, but I always feel like I'm taking up your time. You have
Right.
students. Yeah.
you know, let me just say something. The always is so important.
Right,
And also, a lot of the engineering and techniques of the old way,
right,
you could do when you're old,
right.
you know?
Okay, good. Before we go, let's talk about that. You've
Yes.
been training since you were young
Yes,
and you're getting older.
yes,
I know I've trained with people and myself, and they quit because they say now they're too old.
Yeah.
How do you maintain And how do you make the change as you get older?
Well, like for instance, knee joint kick.
Right.
Originally, the knee joint kick was here
Yeah.
and just drop it.
Right.
Okay. Then through modernization of karate and sport, that looks ugly. Let me bring it back.
Right.
But that's wear and tear on your joints. So I still do that once in a while.
Right.
But originally I just go here and I just drop it.
Right.
So I'm preserving my joints, and that's the original technique. Front kick, everybody goes like this.
Right.
Right? Originally, it's lifting up like this,
Right.
and it goes right underneath your defense.
Right.
And it's very powerful. And you're preserving your
Right.
joints.
The joints. So you're finding the old ways kind of benefit the body.
The body, especially
The
when you're
body.
old.
Right.
And it's more effective.
Yeah. And what about sensitivity and softness in your?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You need it.
Right.
And then sometimes, if you attack me strong,
Yeah.
and I block strong,
Right.
we both doing yang motion.
Right.
So who's gonna win?
Yeah. The stronger. The
The
stronger
strongest yang.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you punch strong, make it
Right.
strong. And I'm here, but now become soft.
Right. But
So
now you
soft.
just.
See? And by soft, sometimes it's not only the hand, it's the body.
Right.
The body change.
The body change.
How you change your stances
Right.
is what make it soft.
Yeah. Do you find that training in white eyebrow, you're understanding soft differently than when you did Goju? Or
By understanding the stickiness
in
in a different perspective.
right,
So it helps my art. It helps
Right.
my Goju-Ryu.
right,
Oh.
right,
You know?
yeah,
So I saw a technique. I saw this motion from the Pak Me, and I said, oh,
yeah,
something just clicked.
yeah,
I saw Seisan Kata.
hmm
This part, I
Right.
understand now.
yeah,
You know, so it like
right,
revealed in a sense.
yeah. We move our center. We don't move our bodies.
Right.
And our center, our breathing, that's where we maintain our
Everything.
softness. Everything.
Yes.
So you move. Every movement is from center.
Right.
Even twisting is
Center.
center. It's not, not our joints.
Right.
It's just our center that twists, and center comes back.
And that's important. Like this block, what I think is Vansal. I think
Mhm.
in one
Yeah.
gym they call it.
Yeah.
A lot of people just go like this.
Right.
Or you should attack. See the way?
Right, yeah.
You should go towards
Yeah.
towards your center.
Towards your center, right?
And it'll bounce you off.
Yeah.
You know.
Always to and from center.
Yes.
Always the important
Yeah.
aspect of it. So before we close, I want to ask one question. Michael, stop peeping out. Come on, I want to ask you too. And this is just, I can cut this out, but
Okay.
it's between us. I saw some videos of these guys, mixed martial artists. They go into China and they challenging old masters.
Right.
And they beating the crap out of them.
Right.
To me, I have two things. First of all, this guy's a senior. He's
Right.
old.
He's old.
You don't go
Exactly.
beat up an old man.
Right.
My second question is, where are his students? Why aren't his students saying, no, my teacher's old?
Right.
If somebody walks through this door, I can guarantee you one of your students will
Right.
go, whoa, no, this is my sensei. You
Right.
have to get through me first.
Right.
Where are his students? So I wanted to ask you guys who've been in the game for so long, your views about that.
Well,
know?
as far as MMA, those guys are fantastic.
Yeah,
They're in great shape,
right?
and they train, but they train to fight. You know, those old Tai Chi guys train for health.
Right.
Of course, they could defend themselves against the average guy,
Yeah,
but they don't train their bodies
right.
to fight professionally.
Yeah.
If you had a guy or young guy that understood the art of Tai Chi,
Right.
and he trains to fight, then
They would have a problem.
they will have better, be a different story, be
Right.
more competitive.
Right.
Maybe the MMA guy win, maybe the Tai Chi guy, but it'll be more
Right.
competitive.
Right.
So you have to see that,
And then another thing, it's not the students, it's the teacher, it's his ego,
Right.
A lot of times those old guys say, you're gonna do the soft part.
Yeah.
He comes, he wants to fight me, I'll just bounce him away.
Yeah.
Right.
And it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
They just they're going by theory, so when their ego says, I'm gonna fight this guy.
Right.
That's why you have to challenge tradition.
Yeah.
Just practice.
Right.
Why here? Why you put your hand here?
Right.
Why you have to do this?
Mhm.
Challenge it. My son's always challenged. He always questions tradition.
Right.
He always, why?
Right.
Okay, let's see why.
So the martial art world is dirty, as dirty as the internet. There are a lot of people who make claims to certain things. Power, energy, genes, stuff like that. You know, you see it all. And then I sit with you guys and I can feel your energy. The little techniques that you do and stuff, you know? I mean, how do you stay away from it? How do you not challenge it? How do you not speak against it as someone who's been training all your life? And then I think, what is his name? He's a comedian. What's the comedian?
Richard Pryor?
No, the most recent one is doing so well.
Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle, I love him.
Dave Chappelle says, when I see people doing comedy, it's like somebody having sex with my girl. And it offends me because he's so good at it.
Yeah.
It's his life, is what he does.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Right. So you guys, talk with you guys and your skill, your time that you put in and everything like that. How do you accept it?
Go ahead, Mike.
Don't worry about it. You know, the person that you have to worry about the most is yourself.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, you know, what he does, what the other guy does is not important.
Yeah.
It's you developing yourself. That's what it's all about.
I don't even get caught up on disputes. So sometimes I
Yeah.
see it on Facebook, on the internet, or dispute this and that and that. I don't even. All worries about improving myself.
Exactly.
That's what I care about, you know? Improving myself and getting my students good.
Right.
You know, I don't care about, okay, this guy really didn't study with him or he changed that. That's
Or
their
this
business.
This guy could fly to the moon and back, and he could kick over his head.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you practice with students, you know, that's my teacher, they'll comply.
Right.
Yeah. So, like, I have a lot of my students, and I pick, and, you know, and I do techniques, and when I see that they start complying, I don't use them no more.
anymore. Yeah.
I said, no, let me have this guy.
Right.
You know?
Right. What's the true essence of Goju Karate? Like, if you were to sum it up to tell me.
The true essence of
this-
Goju-Ryu Karate is to understand the balance of the hardness and softness. You see a lot of people just do go-ru. They don't even do the Jew aspect. They think by doing this,
Yeah, they're doing something.
that's the soft aspect of karate. That's not the soft aspect of
Right.
karate.
Okay.
The soft aspect of karate is learning how to be soft with movement, with posture.
That's on the physical sense. What
Yes.
a lot deeper inside.
I think Goju-Ryu Karate. I think Goju-Ryu Karate really balances your life if you understand it.
Right.
It's like substantial and insubstantial. The internal art. I mean, even Tai Chi, Bagua, Shinyi. It has the outer aspects of the posture. It's the posture, right? The relationship of Sanchin is to the three conflicts is to unite them, right?
Right.
So internally is the Qing, the Qi, and the Shin. The essence, the energy, and the spirit. So, you know, that's Goju, you know, it's like the reason you go to Hong Kong, I don't know now, but back in the day, that Goju was like one of the most popular styles in Hong Kong.
Karate systems, yeah.
Yeah, of the karate systems. It's a complete style in the fact that if you learn it from a good teacher, you'll learn the internal aspects as well as the external aspects, which is Go and Ju. You know, skin is soft, bones are hard.
Yeah.
You know, that's another aspect of Goju.
I spoke to a guru from Sri Lanka, and they're very Buddhist.
Right.
And they have this concept that goes along with their martial art. It says in Angam Paro, which is their fighting style, in an Angam Paro fight, no one ever wins. Even if you kill your enemy, you end up losing.
Right.
Because internally, you've destroyed something in
Yeah,
yourself.
you took a living thing.
Right.
You kill somebody.
Yeah.
Kill
Right.
a living being.
Is there a concept like that in Goju? Like,
Oh,
do you
Goju,
have a
yeah.
spiritual...
Well, not as deep as that, but you know, it's designed for life protection.
Right.
Yeah.
And life protection, that doesn't mean that I'm gonna kill you.
Mhm.
So it means I'm gonna stop you.
Right.
Yeah. One of the
So,
ones-
like for instance, a lot of tuide is designed.
Mhm.
I mean, I could break your wrist with a tuide, but it's just to control you because I
Right.
don't want to hurt you.
Right.
You know,
Right.
even the way we grab. I mean, we don't want to grab like this.
Right.
We'll grab with
Right,
with
yeah.
the pressure points
Yeah.
to control you. Calm down.
Right,
You know,
yeah.
like always. You know,
Right.
get large intestine, whatever.
You can
So-
show that you can go beyond
Yes.
the norm if you have
But
to.
you know, karate, original karate is not really fighting art per
Right.
se like this. It's a life protection art. You come and protect myself, you know,
Right.
and I protect you too,
Right.
because I'm not gonna destroy you, you know.
Well, it's one of the old sayings that Funakoshi used to say about there's no first attack.
I can talk to you guys all day, but he has class.
Yes.
I don't want to interrupt.
Thank you very much.
That's it.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's my man right there, bro.
Well,